You know what time it is. You know where we at. We in the Batcave. Yes. So we're here to look at this film. For this game, there's three main topics that we are going to talk about today. First topic will be the run game. Second topic will be MJ Stewart, because I feel like there's been some slander about MJ Stewart that I am no longer going to tolerate. There will be no more MJ Stewart disrespect, and I will show you exactly why I feel that way in a second. And then we're going to talk about, the elephant in the room, Baker Mayfield, and the game that he had and the missed opportunities that the passing game had while playing better than they have in the past 6 weeks, which is really more of a statement on how bad the offense had been up till today. So we're going to get into all of it. We're going to start with the run game, and we're going to start with something that I started talking about last week before the game against Green Bay, but it's something that the Browns really went with, and I expect them to go with this even more this week versus Pittsburgh, which is this downhill run on the edge, right? Nick Chubb was an absolute menace to society. You're going to see him get this slip screen here. Look, once he gets that momentum going, he puts that foot down, he hits that second gear. He's so hard to tackle. He's an absolute menace to society here. On this play right here, I think Nick Harris does a really good job pulling out, getting out to that second level, clearing space for Nick Chubb. And again, once Nick Chubb hits that second gear, he's so hard to tackle. But Nick Chubb wasn't the only one doing work. Mr. Dearness put in some work today too. I mean, look at the patience here, right, that Dearness runs with. He runs patiently, but he doesn't get caught in the backfield because he cuts with such determination and he has such good body control and balance. Like, look at this. He just stays. He has a knack for just being able to stay on his feet. And I think that's what makes him an exceptional back. He's not very fast. Like, the stories about him having a terrible pro day, I can believe, because he's not the greatest athlete in the world. But you can't really test for balance, right? There's no test for balance. There's no stat for balance and body control. It's something that you kind of just have to see. And he has excellent balance and body control. We're going to see here again, right? Look at the cut, just the body control. This is a small thing he does here at the end of this run, where instead of going down normal, right, letting those knees be the first thing to touch, he has the body control to, while he's getting tackled, plant his foot right here and then extend on his tippy toes as he's falling down so he can get that extra yard to get a first down. The body control Dearness has is incredible. I mean, this run here that Dearness has also just, again, out the gun. It's on I think this was a third down, right? Yeah, this is a 3rd and 9, dude. They gave this ball to Dearness thinking they was just going to settle for another field goal, and Dearness said, nah, man. Nah. The body control, man. Look at this stuff that he is doing. Dearness Johnson is actually really good. And I don't think enough people talk about it, but he's actually really good. And I think once Kareem Hunt comes back, the Browns have not only 3 starting running backs, but 3 really good starting running backs. There should be no reason for fatigue other than the offensive line for this run game, because look at this. Nice cut, but the balance to stay on his feet and still explode. Like, his body control is just amazing to watch. All right, so that was the run game. Now we're going to talk about not Dearness Johnson. We're going to talk about MJ Stewart, because quite frankly, I have seen so much disrespect about MJ Stewart. Now, is MJ Stewart the best cover corner in the world? Absolutely not. But is MJ Stewart a good enough cover corner and an excellent tackler to the point to where his coverage skills shouldn't really be that big of a deal? Absolutely. I think MJ has made a case to start at nickel and at that slot DB position and really get some snaps there as strong safety too, because he is an excellent tackler. We're going to see the MJ Stewart tape here. Look, little short ball. They throw to his running back. Now look, MJ Stewart comes to sweep up. Here's the important thing here, right? Because that running back can easily push the pile. A lot of times you see the guys try to clean up that tackle from behind, and then they push that guy forward, and that gets them the first down. But Look what MJ Stewart does here. He comes around on the right side and then anchors his body. So he pushes this dude back. He does not allow any forward progress, and he narrowly gets a third down. Dearness Johnson, man. I mean, not Dearness Johnson, MJ Stewart, man. All right, MJ Stewart here again. Watch him. He's in the slot. Let me highlight him for you. MJ Stewart right here, I believe. And he's going to crash down on this little screen. And boom. Now, he doesn't make the tackle there, but he makes a bigger play than just the tackle, right? Because he not only gets there, disrupts this play, obviously, but he's strong enough to actually throw this dude's momentum backwards, which forces him to reestablish himself with the football move, which means that when Anthony Walker gets his tackle, he's not that running back's not getting forward progress. That is a 1-yard gain now. Thanks to MJ Stewart. Shout out MJ Stewart. MJ Stewart here again. This is 2 plays on the same drive. Look, they throw another screen. MJ's not having it, dog. He's not having it on the edge. Stop disrespecting. And then look, on this same play, they get a little 3rd and 6. Who's there to stop the 3rd and 6? On Devontae Adams, nonetheless, because Dearness Johnson makes a great tackle there. 4th down, they got a punt. MJ Stewart. I don't know why I keep calling that man Dearness Johnson. Probably because I just talked about Dearness Johnson. But MJ Stewart deserves respect. I need to hear no more MJ Stewart disrespect in the comment section. No more on Twitter. Stop talking about what he can't do. Talk about what he can do. Because what he can do gets the Browns off the field on 3rd down. MJ Stewart should still see time once the starters come back. Because MJ Stewart been balling. All right, man. Let's talk about Baker Mayfield. Now, I'm going to start with some good stuff, right? Because you have to try to see everything. You can't just see what you want to see or just look for what you want to find, right? If you want to find the truth, you have to look at everything. So I'm going to look at everything. I know that makes some people mad because the hot thing to do is just to be angry about stuff. But I got to look at everything and just can't go at things that confirm what I feel, right? I have to look at the whole picture. So this is a play here early in the game. And I think Baker did a couple of things a lot better in this game. I think he worked through his progressions a lot better in this game. I think that made him a lot better on 4th and 3rd downs. And he did a lot of good things in those areas. Now, obviously, we know here where he wasn't good, and we'll talk about why that wasn't good in a second. But here, works through, gets back. And what I think is really nice about this play is he stays tall in this pocket, right? You know, it collapses in front of him a little bit, but he stays tall, stays on his keys, and then finds a little passing window by throwing that little sidearm. That's a good job by Baker Mayfield here. This next play is a 4th and 1 for Baker Mayfield where, you know, the Browns need it. They had this go-to play. This is quick ball inside to Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's able to make that happen. And we're going to see here what the protection looked like. Again, drop back, find a window, launch it. On target, on time. 4th and 1, you need to make those plays. He made that play. He made a lot of plays like that in this game. Another thing is I felt like he did really good. This is what I'm talking about with the progressions, right? Look, he starts this play off. He's looking down one side of the field, goes back to his second read, which is Austin Hooper, and then changes to his third read, which is Rashard Higgins. Makes this throw, gets it to the 1-yard line. That gets you a touchdown. So there was some good in this, right? This one right here is a 3rd and 17, kind of a similar kind of idea here, right? Working through his progressions. Usually when you play a game where you throw 4 interceptions and your numbers looked as bad as Baker Mayfield's numbers look like, this is where Twitter loves to come out with the, oh, look at all these dudes that he missed in this game takes, right? You notice that even though Baker did play a pretty bad game on Saturday, you have not seen any of those pictures floating around because Baker's issue wasn't really decision-making in this game. He was finding the dudes. He was getting to his second, third progression consistently. The throws and the decisions that he made, I feel like, are defendable for the most part. The ball placement, and that's what we'll have some issue, and we'll talk about that when we go over those interceptions. But this right here goes through his progressions, finds Higgs, gets a 3rd and 17. Nice job. All right, now, if you want to win games against the top teams in the NFL, right, like the Packers are, when it comes to making plays, you just have to make the extra plays, right? And this is something that the Browns just did not get. They didn't get those extra plays. Instead, they made the extra interception or two. But right here, right, if you want to win these games, you got to make these extra plays, right? Baker on this rollout throws a deep ball to Peoples-Jones. It's on target. All right, Peoples-Jones, you might have to either stay tall and run under this ball to get it, or you can dive. I would prefer he stay on his feet, but he goes for the dive. It's a catchable ball. Like, it's not a drop. I wouldn't categorize that as a drop. That's definitely not a drop. But it's an extra effort. It's an extra play that if you want to beat a team like the Packers, you got to make, and you just don't make it, right? That could have been points, turns into nothing, right? I think that's one of the drives where they had to punt. When we talk about these interceptions, I think one thing we're going to notice is ball placement. The ball placement was funky with Baker all game. I feel like he was pulling everything towards the middle of the field a lot in this game. This one right here to Hoop, it's open. He's just got to throw that one with some lead time to the numbers to him. Instead, this ball gets pulled towards the seams and almost gets intercepted. So that was the more egregious, like if he would have threw that one, that would have been super egregious here. But again, back to my point about, hey, if you want to beat a team like the Packers, you have to secure bags, right? Bags are like money, but you have to secure bags. You have to secure scoring opportunities when they are given to you the first time. You cannot wait for a second go around, because if you ain't cashing the bag in, you can fumble the bag. And this is a prime example of this, right? They had a good opportunity to cash this bag in right here. Unfortunately, Blake Hance does not get around fast enough to get a solid block here. He gets beat inside. Now, I don't know if he's trying to slide out. No, he's not trying to slide out for no screen, because he's not even running for that running back. So he gets beat. Is that Blake Hance or is that Michael Dunn? I don't know. It's one of those two. He gets beat inside here. And the unfortunate part is that window's there, man. And they have been fitting windows here all game versus these like single high looks and these cover 3 looks that the Green Bay Packers were throwing out there in this game. That ball was there. I mean, they literally got the ball on the 1 yard line there 2 other times with Rashard Higgins and Jarvis Landry. That play was there. If Baker could just set his feet and make that throw like he had the other 2 drives, he's able to get that there, but instead we blow a block and kill a great opportunity to score some points here. Now, why is that important, right? That could have probably led to 7 points there, but instead that drive continues. And, instead of talking about a touchdown that we could have gotten here because the play was blown, instead of talking about this touchdown, what happens later in this drive? Right, Baker's dropping back. Jarvis is open. But Baker, for whatever reason, I think he slips, because it's not like he's being pressured. I think he just slips, or he's overly worried about whoever that is on that edge getting bulled into him. But this ball gets thrown off his back foot, off balance. That's not great for him there. Right, the form looks like it was thrown off because he slipped or something. And what should be, a good pass to get this ball closer into more manageable field goal range turns into an interception. This is the most egregious interception of the game. Not because of how it happened, but because of what it cost you, right? Because on this drive, you could have had 7. It should have at least been 3 points, but instead it turns into 7 points for the Packers. So instead of getting 7, instead of getting 3, Both of those would have been the difference in the game. You give up -7, which also would have been the difference in the game. All three outcomes hurt you. And you can point to that play as one of the plays that really killed you in this game. Absolutely, right? And again, look, this is on Baker. I don't know what happens here with his feet. It looked like his ankle rolls. I don't know what the hell was going on with him here. There's not enough pressure. Like, Blake Hance is getting bulled, but he's not getting bulled so bad that you can't make a good throw. And for whatever, it's almost like he saw Jarvis come open super late, and then it's the right decision to throw it to Jarvis. And he throws this one with the most funky form that I've never seen him throw this funkily. He just throws this thing funky, and it comes out funky. Like, look how funky that ball comes out. This is a all top 10 funky play of the year right here. Look at that ball. I see a lot of Baker Mayfield footballs. They usually are a really tight spiral. This thing comes out here wobbly. Just bad form, bad ball, bad result. Should have been 7. Well, could have been 7. Should have been 3. Ends up costing you 7 the other way. I mean, that's a 10-point swing. That's the difference in the game in all facets. That's bad. All right, man. Let's talk about this interception here. Now, absolutely right there. You can call holding, DPI, or whatever it is you want to call on this DB. You can even call it on Donovan Peoples-Jones. But they were letting the physicality go all game, both sides. They were not calling anything in that way, which I could respect if it's consistent, right? And in this throw right here, I think the throw's the culprit, right? Now, I don't mind the decision, even though, let's see what's happening by the time he releases this ball. Right. I don't really mind the decision here because I do think you can make that throw to Peoples-Jones. I think the ball placement was off, but also I think a lot of people would notice that, like, hey, you could just go underneath here to, I don't know who that is specifically because I can't see a number, but you can go underneath here and get that ball to him. I think that's a little bit of a tougher ask given that I don't think the window is necessarily there for him. But I think this play is more about the ball placement than it is about the decision. Now, you can't really see it on that angle, right? Because when I saw that angle, I was like, oh, man, it looks like the decision. Well, that looks weird. You can't really tell where the flight of the ball is going. But on this angle, you can see it here, right? He releases this. That ball is probably supposed to go more towards the numbers. So Peoples-Jones can run away from that safety so the ball can beat the safety there. And maybe Peoples-Jones can score a touchdown here, but at the very least, you get like 45 yards out of this throw. Instead, look where this ball goes. It just hangs at the numbers, right? Peoples-Jones' route, which starts out, like 2.5 yards away from the hash. It looked like he's trying to work away from it. All of a sudden, he has to do this violent cut up towards the field because this thing just hangs on the seams. That's a bad ball. I think the decision's fine. I thought the play was there because you can't really see the depth in that other angle, but the depth on this angle, you can see. You have him beat. You just can't. You can't make that throw and be that off target there. That's on Baker. This one right here, I think this is actually, and I think this is the one when I saw it on TV, I felt like was the most blamable on Baker. But I think this is actually, I think they just got out chest maneuvered on this one right here. They do the little quick pull, and then you see here, Jarvis got fooled, Baker got fooled. They both saw the same wrong thing, which is they saw this dude running and thought, ain't no way he's going to come back and bait us like that. Like, there's no way he's going to bait us. Well, he baited you, and he did a hell of a job baiting you right here, right? Because 29 was not in focus. It was not anybody you were looking for. He completely sold this well. Now, I don't know if he sold this or just made a play. If he did make a play, that's a hell of a play. But, yeah, he did a good job here. Like hindsight 2020 can tell you, oh, he should have threw that ball towards the sideline more or whatever it was. Nah, man, they got baited. I think they just got baited. I think they got outmaneuvered here. 29 just made a hell of a play. I think a lot of quarterbacks throw that interception. So that's not super egregious, in my opinion, in the very least. I think if a DB plays and baits that well, a lot of people are going to throw that interception. That was a great job by 2-9 there. Now, this is another example, I think, on this play of Baker just pulling everything towards the hash, because you look here, pulls this ball towards the hash and almost gets pick-sixed. He just had a rough one with that. I don't know why he was pulling everything towards the hash. I'm pretty sure there'll be people who tell me it has to be his injury because Troy Aikman said something. I don't know. Baker also said before this game he felt like he was feeling the best he has since the start of the year coming into this game. So, I don't know how much of this I'm gonna blame on injuries, man. Like, honestly, it just seems ridiculous to keep blaming what is bad quarterback play on injuries. And then this one, I think we could talk about the interception at the end of the game. I think it's very uneventful. Look, you're just debating whether it's pass interference or not because the decision's sound. The ball's pulled off. It's not a good ball. It gets intercepted. But I think that's not as big of a deal as this play right here. I think this is a bigger miss right here, because right here, you get the one-on-one coverage you want with David Njoku. He's going towards the sideline in a 1-minute scenario. You have the safety completely beat going this way, middle field clear that way. So you have a one-on-one with your best tight end. Exactly what this play is designed to do. You're clearing out everybody this way, everybody that way, everybody that way. You're trying to just isolate this part of the field so you can get this ball about here. And you get it. You get the look you want. You get the coverages you want. Everybody stays on their feet. And Njoku wins his route one-on-one. And all Baker got to do is get it there. And he just doesn't throw a good ball. If he catches that, man, David Njoku can get out of bounds at 30, at the 35. You know what I mean? 35, maybe even closer to that 33-yard line. You run the ball 2 more times. You run the ball 3-4 more times with your timeouts. Ball game. Kick a field goal. Ball game. This is the biggest one to me, right? We can focus on the interception, but this throw right here, you get everything you want. But look at this ball. You can see it clear here. It's just not there, man. He pulled this thing. It was just off, and I think that was the biggest thing. Baker's ball placement was very hot and cold in this game. Either it was completely on point or he was pulling it left or right. And boy, I know he wishes he has that one back, because that would have ended the game right there. But hey, that's why they didn't win, right? When you want to beat a team like Green Bay, you got to make the extra plays. You got to get everything that you can get in the Browns offense. While they did play much better, while they did stay in this game, missed on way too many opportunities at the end of the day to win this game. Let's hope for a better performance next week versus Pittsburgh and for the rest of the year, however long that may be. But when we're talking about this game versus the Packers, left a lot of points on the field if you're the Cleveland Browns. Can't be happy with that, but overall, defensively, you played well. And your run game really did play well. And in spurts, the passing game was okay. So, that's kind of my thoughts on this game. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But again, guys, have a great day. Have a good night.